Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Bitcoin has nearly reached that 66,350 level, which I called basically the first ideal target for the white C wave to the downside. And yeah, I didn't really want to believe we get there because of the extension that was needed here in this fifth wave. Yeah, so remember what we talked about. This is, by the way, only really a look at the intraday patterns. Yesterday I took a look at the daily chart. Maybe if it's worth doing so, I'll do that in the next video again. But the idea was an A wave topped here of a larger third wave, which could take us to 76.5K. Other interpretations possible, but then this would be a third wave up here. And I would really struggle to call this here a fourth wave pullback for various reasons. So I think the B wave is the better option here. And then the move down was an A wave in wave B of 3. The rally was wave B. Bitcoin tried to break up, but it was only a rally in 3 waves and it failed again. And now we're coming down in what I considered already a few days ago, the C wave of wave B. And I mentioned that we should get back into the range here, especially testing 66,350. Well, we're nearly there, I'd say. But I did say to you that in this C wave count, I'm not entirely confident in, given that the microstructures look a little bit off. With a very short 1-2 setup, the third has the right length, the fourth was already a bit massive, and the fifth wave, though, extremely long. So that's a valid count, don't get me wrong. It is still a valid count, but I highlighted to you that, look, if I have the A wave down and the B wave up, I can get a target for the C wave, which is the white zone, with the first level being the most relevant one, the 100% extension. So I said, okay, the micro, I could be wrong about the micro count. I think it was in one of the signals for gold members on the weekend I posted that I'm not entirely confident about this micro count, but as long as we stay below resistance, which we did, I'm focusing on lower. So that's where the fibs guide us, not only the microstructures, because you see lots of distortions on the smallest time frames, right? Sometimes extended wave 5s, even though they are rare, but it is what it is. But because of this strong extension, even though it did exactly what I wanted it to do, I've also introduced the blue count, which is part of that same scenario, okay? It's just a different way how this B wave could subdivide. And because it's just due to the fact that, one second, just want to shift all of that to the right here. Just due to the fact that one second, should talk and move things. Yeah, that this just doesn't have the right look, right? So therefore I thought it makes sense to introduce an alternative, okay? Because this wave 5 should really be done now. If it continues to go a bit lower, and it might do so, then it's likely rather a third in the blue count. That allowed me to add a resistance area for the wave 4 in blue, and then we could still get another wave 5 in blue. I'm not sure if we get that last 4-5 pattern though. It can always form a WXY pattern and the low is in. We've now, considering everything, nearly reached the target zone for that C wave of wave B. So the blue count, all the blue count does is it tells us that if the market needs to, it can still go lower. And it gives us a first barrier, a first resistance area to watch, which is the red resistance zone, which can act as a breakout point or breakout zone. So if we get above this, it would indicate that, yeah, a low might be indeed in place. But until we break above 68,350, which is that 50% retracement of the third wave down in blue, there is no indication that a low is in place. And actually, if the blue count if this is blue wave 3, I'd like to get blue wave 3 a little lower, and it should get to the 1.38 extension. So I might actually color that blue. So it's clear it's from the blue count. And here I'd like to see the third wave in blue actually get to the 1.38 extension. Here we talk about 65,490. That would still be within the white target zone that we defined. And then the fifth wave down would just be one more low, maybe targeting 64,709 or even 63,500. Because that's the 200% extension. Actually, I should also add the 1.786. Then we've got all the levels that we need, really. So it's actually quite simple. Overall, still part of a bullish scenario. Just identifying key levels where this correction could end, and the particular ones that are really relevant for the white count: 66,350, 65,100, and 64,340. And yeah, but this could turn around at any point, but would need to break above, and that takes us to the next set of levels. Break above 68,350 to confirm a low in place, because until that's the case, we could be dealing with a blue count. And the blue count third wave should get to 65,490 or even a bit lower. And the fifth wave to 64,710 or a bit lower. And then, yeah, at some point it just needs to break out, right? So that's what I'm watching here at the moment. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.